Hi guys, it's EsoPa, and this would be a video on analyzing your replays. It's been a while since I did my last video, the 2.9 minor poison, but now that I'm in summer, expect more streams, more videos, etc, etc. So this is a video that I've been kind of wanting to do for a while now, really going into depth about analyzing your replays, because it's just such a good way to improve. And I noticed that a lot of people will just say things, they'll ask like, oh, how do I improve in stream or in other people's stream? And a lot of people will say, oh, just watch your replays, watch your losses. I'm here to show you how. I think the best way to how, and so that you can avoid just like I don't want you to like I think it's already great if you are watching your replays, watching your losses, etc. But I don't want you to do it incorrectly, or just to do it to kind of do it, just to like say that you do it. Yeah. Okay, so just to start this off, before we even go into the replays, I have 3 here, by the way. They span 2 different accounts. I have a replay of Max Ladder on my own account. I have a replay from level 10 ladder, me as a level 10 against over-leveled cards that we'll be taking a look at, and a GC game between Golem versus Golem, Expo versus Expo. So we're going to be taking a look at all that. And hopefully I'll show you how I analyze my replays, so that it can kind of give you a guideline for how you analyze yours. So before we start here, I want to go over some misunderstandings. The biggest misunderstandings I think that players have about analyzing replays. So as like a coach, for a while now, I think for a few months, I've been coaching a lot of players from pretty much almost every bracket of play. And just like in general with players, the biggest misunderstanding is that they always lose because of one mistake. And I know a lot of people are definitely guilty of this, myself included, but there is no single mistake that loses you a game. Most often than not, it's always going to be a series of events that kind of lead you there. But the thing about this is that when you have like bad feelings, like, you know, bad feelings about losing, your mind tends to latch onto the negativity, the negative, right? The negative of, I lost here because of this mistake, and then your mind goes simply to, oh yeah, this one thing. It helps you deal with, you know, being better. It kind of fools you, so don't fall into this. Yeah, so it's usually going to be a series of mistakes. Even at the top level of play, it might be the case that people know how to play the cycle perfectly, all that, and people will lose just because of the deck cycle, whatever. But more often than not, that's not really the case. And especially for players who are even below that, it's always going to be a ton of mistakes that hinder people. So second is, you will not know everything that a replay can tell you because you're limited by your knowledge. This applies to everyone. Some people more so than others. But if you want to kind of go around this, the best way to do it is to watch people who are better than you, watch streams, watch YouTube, you know, so you improve your knowledge, right? And then you can take a look at replays better. The more you improve, the better that you look at your replays. I tend to believe it's not like a bad player can take a look at their replay and learn a lot, just because they open up the replay. So the third one, I think this one's pretty big, and I think this is also one of the reasons why people don't want to look at their replays as well. But you need to ignore your opponent in general. The thing about Clash Royale and a lot of these competitive games is that if you want to improve, you need to look at yourself as like the constant variable in the game. The thing about your opponents is that your opponents always vary. sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're good, sometimes they are bad, right? But the constant will always be your gameplay. So what you need to do is just focus on yourself. And when you're analyzing replays, just kind of ignore what they're doing and focus on yourself. It's a lot easier to just look at your own play than look at theirs and yours together. I mean, that's not to say that like you don't take into account what they're doing. Obviously, like if they put a golem at the back, then you take that into account. I'm just trying to say, uh, if one of your reasons for not looking at your replays is because you think that you lost because your opponent was bad and he just played like some willy like a crazy ass deck or whatever, then it's definitely going to be to detriment like your detriment to not look over that, or to just kind of dismiss that just because you think your opponent is bad. That's playing into the whole not ignoring your opponent thing. Okay, so now that we kind of got that through, we can go into the replays here. Well, actually, before I do that, one more thing. I didn't really get into ever like how do you actually look at your replay, right? The thing about replays is it's probably the best way to focus practice or to God, there's like a term I used to it before, but you basically focus on one thing in the replay. You create like a goal for yourself. Before you go into replay, you create a goal. The best way to do is to have one goal and stress something that you kind of notice from your own gameplay a lot, like leaking elixir, like I don't know, not playing your cycle correctly, dying whenever you pump. A pretty good example of this is Golem Pump. Like I feel like a lot of new players when they're playing Golem Pump, they don't play their elixir collectors right. They don't pump correctly. They don't stagger their cards in the right order, right? So what happens to a lot of these golem players is they'll pump up and then they lose a tower, or they pump up and then they don't know what to do after that, right? So you create a goal for yourself, one thing, and you kind of fixate on that, especially in your replays. So let's say you're looking at your golem replay and your problem is whenever you pump, you die. You tend to die. They take your tower, you take too much damage. So then you look at your replay and you start to ask yourself more questions stemming from that one goal, right? Stemming from that one thing that you want to improve on. So the question then becomes things like, all right, so how do I die? What is happening when I die? What could I do better here? Am I cycling my cards right? Am I doing this and this right? Am I positioning things right? You know, you go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. That's what one question does for you, and the goal will keep you on track when you are watching your replay, so you aren't just kind of going everywhere. Okay. So the first replay I have is Expo versus Expo. This is at top ladder. Excuse my coughing, I've been sick for a while. So I remember in this game, I lose momentum somewhere, and I think it has to do with the knight. I'm pretty sure, with the way Expo versus Expo works, it should be a draw. The way one Expo wins is they lock onto the tower, and then they chip you out with spell damage. So you don't ever want to let them lock on, and they never want to let you lock on. So you have to play your cycle in a way that you don't get caught out. What happens to me is I lose my knight in cycle while he always has his in cycle. And we're going to see why. And I'm going to try and backtrack and see what I could have done better there. Because I'm pretty sure that's like my issue whenever this happens. It doesn't always have to be with the knight. Sometimes like I'll lose my mega minion in cycle. Sometimes I'll lose the fireball or something like that. I play aggressively with the Expo. I think this is fine. It's unfortunate that I play right into the knight lane, but it's fine. He drops the Mega Minion. I think I should have already accepted that my Expo was dead here, and then just try and play around his cards so that I could keep the more important cards in my hand, like the Mega Minion, like the Knight. Instead, I just threw away my Knight, and now look what happens. He drops the Knight in the center, and this puts so much pressure on me already. By putting the Knight and the fact that I can't really match him because I don't have skeletons, I can play the Mega Minion. I'm kind of lucky that his Mega Minion is not really in cycle. He has the Expo here, but he would have to drop his Expo, and then, you know, all this kind of weird stuff happens. But let's see. So the Knight gives his Expo time, and then he's able to set up on me. So already I feel like I'm losing the momentum here. And I think this is where I mess up here. So the only thing I have in my hand is the Knight. Either I can play Log to take it out, or I can drop the Knight to tank aggro for it. What I do, this is kind of where I mess up here. I drop the Knight late, and I take the aggro, and I lose my Knight in cycle. So I think if I don't... I mean, this stems from like all the way back to the Expo, to the first Expo. And me defending with the Knight when he had Mega Minion and I didn't have my Mega Minion. So I basically gave away my Knight, and then now it's like 2 cycles later and it's pretty late. And then I dig myself into a bigger hole that you'll see Blevins pretty much abuses. Because he's able to drop the Knight in the middle, and I can't really reciprocate. I pretty much have to keep overextending. So I think we'll see here that one of my problems is that I don't retain the units that I need in this kind of mirror matchup when I know that I need these units. See, every single time my my Mega Minion, my Knight, is just kind of worth less than his, and he has more pressure than me overall. He just let me get damage on the tower, but that kind of scares me because like now I know that he's saving his elixir to do a bigger push. I should be dropping the Expo here. That looks like a good fireball. Yep. So where does things go wrong? He fireballs, he locks onto the tower. I'm late again with my Knight. This is a reoccurring issue. And this kind of damage is really lethal, especially in Expo versus Expo. Because right now he can start fireball cycling from where he's at. But I believe he just challenges me directly. I'm being a little bit greedy here, going for fireballs on tower. But it's fine, because he doesn't add any units to it. Every single time I don't have the Knight here, putting me behind, I have to throw away an Ice Spirit. And when you're playing against good players like this, every single little thing matters. Logs me, I log him. I should actually be just going for the draw. 30 seconds left. If I wasn't contesting, then the Expo probably doesn't get up. He logs beautifully here. Gets his Expo for the last few damage, and then that's game. So I'm not prioritizing the Knight. I'm not prioritizing the... basically the cards that my Expo needs to get set up properly. And I think I'm overextending on offense. So the next time that I play Expo versus Expo, I will definitely try to be on time with my Knights. I think that I get a little bit too greedy with timing. You know, where you try to play units too late, and then, you know, that's where accidents happen. So I think it's better to be safer than sorry. So next time I'll probably try and play Knights earlier, or make the decision to just log and keep my Knight. Because I'm pretty sure the priority there's more priority in having the tank rather than having the spell, maybe with the exception of Fireball. Okay, so that was a fat L. We'll be taking a look at my second account, where I am 4K with level 10, no, level 7, like basically tournament standard cards. And let's see, this guy, Happy Child, I believe he's across the board a higher level than me. I know that a lot of people have been asking me to, to like address ladder, stuff like that. Like, how do I play better on ladder? Uh, the short answer is with ladder, you kind of need to up your fundamentals. You need to be able to just in general play better. The better that you are, the higher cards you will meet, and then it comes down to that more. With analyzing your replays, you really streamline your gameplay, and it'll help you play better ladder. Uh, yeah, so like this dude has like a level 9 Hog Rider, level 9 Muskie, level 8 Rocket, and I'm sitting here with a 7 Hog Rider, 7 Inferno Tower, right? Like plus like a tower difference. So like what went wrong? Um, this is a win for us. I just kind of want to show you that you can also learn things from your wins, but you'll also notice that if anything, you win because you're already because you I find that there's less mistakes in the game, so you don't learn as much, but there's always something you can delve into it. So for me, ladder is more about playing very cleanly, making sure that I don't really make any huge mistakes, right? Huge mistakes usually meaning like not giving up huge like game breaking damage or not overextending against people with really high level cards where they can take my tower almost instantly. I don't think I am overextending here. The E-Wiz does take out the cannon. I dropped the hog on the other side. And now it's our turn to be aggressive. He plays this Muskie. We definitely fireball that. He drops the knight. Definitely log all of this. Yep, and we defend as we would. I think in general, pretty solid defense. We're also abusing his defense. If he plays Musk near a tower that's low, I would definitely fireball that. So we're playing clean so far, right? He drops the Muskie. I play the Ice Spirit to cycle to the Fireball, and I do it again. Fireball at the Muskie. If he ever plays anything into the same lane, that's where Log gets its value. He actually drops 2 Elixir on top of this, so I get a lot of value plus the damage. Hmm. So, what could I have done better here? Uh, he drops the Knight at the back. I am behind. I have the Inferno Tower up. Do I just match him and play the Knight, or do I go into the other side? I know that he has cannon, so there's no reason to really play Hog Rider right now. It's probably best to just drop the Knight and mirror his. If he plays the Musketeer, then I can play my E-Wiz, and then I'll probably be waiting for him to either Fireball, Lightning, Rocket, something along those lines. So what do I do here? I do play the Knight to mirror him. He does Rocket me, and I know now that it's a Rocket deck. So what do I do? I see the Rocket, I start going aggressive because the Rocket is 6 Elixir. I can't really give him that damage for free. I start to go aggressive because I know that a lot of these Rocket Cycle decks, they tend to, where they want to Rocket Cycle you. If you don't get the damage down, they will just kill you. So I am just throwing Elixir at him to make sure he doesn't freely Rocket me. I don't think there is... I think I'm playing my cycle pretty well, all things considered. There it goes. There's another rocket. I know to be aggressive here. Throw everything down as much as I can. He doesn't do this well. He defends with cannon really well. His cannon is basically 2 levels higher than the knight, than the hog rider, so this would be pretty hard to kind of get through. He does rocket here. I think I thought I lost here, but this rocket is not high enough level. So we all in, knowing that this is what we have to do. Not able to defend everything, and I think we take the W here. So with underleveled cards, we're able to play very, I think, measured and make the right decisions. If anything, like watching your replays where you win, you get to kind of reaffirm what you do right, so that you don't really fall back on things that you do wrong. That's fine. I think that's fine. What I did right there was I knew to fireball muskies because I know that that doesn't have like a pump. So I'm doing it for damage. Sorry. So I'm doing it for damage. And I know as soon as he starts to rocket, that his goal is to rocket cycle me out. So in order to prevent that, I make the decision to go ahead and go really aggressive. I think that's also correct. So what that does for you is the next time you go over or you go into other games where the same thing happens, you make the same decisions because you know that it's the right decision. So rather than like watching your replays where you win to learn things, you more just kind of retain what you know. And you keep going with that. Alright, so for the last replay, we'll be taking a look at the Golem versus Golem matchup. So the thing about the Golem versus Golem matchup is it's very pump dependent. Basically the way you kind of want to play it out is, let's say, you don't ever want to give them pumps, but you want to get your pumps up. So if you get pump, they get lightning, they lightning you, they pump, you lightning them, and you just kind of trade in between. Whoever gets their pump up and gets, you know, defends like a push from their golem, you pretty much win because you just overwhelmingly have way more units than them. So here, like, I'll be seeing kind of where I go wrong. Is my defense bad? Did I give him too much value? Did I not make the right decision when it comes to pumping, right? So my goal here is to find out, did I play my pumps right in order to get ahead in the game? I lose, so the answer is probably no. But we'll see why. I dropped the baby dragon. I see he has a pump. I don't have lightning in hand, so I dropped the E-Wiz and then I pump right away. This could still be the Battle Ram deck, but as soon as I see the Mega Minion, I know that this is Golem. He gets the lightning here, which tells me he knows how to play this matchup. The thing is, I can't lightning this pump because it already got 2 elixir. The thing about lightning is, you basically, you have the time limit of getting 1 elixir and then you lightning. If they get any more than 1, you don't lightning anymore. With rocket, you basically rocket so they don't get anything. Or if they get 1 elixir, then you don't rocket anymore. So I'm in a really bad place right now. It's going to be up to my defense to kind of make up this deficit from opening hand. I think logging was right. He logs me. I want to get rid of this units that are taking out the golem. So, like before that we said, you don't want to fixate on one single mistake. I feel like a lot of people here, if they were looking at this replay, I know for a fact, so when you basically hold lightning in golem matchup, like you don't really lightning defensive units because you want to lightning pumps. I lightninged those defensive units. That is a big mistake for me, but it's not only the single reason why I lose. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make more mistakes along the way, and that's where we kind of differentiate that. So in general, like this guy is in a way better place than me. You're gonna see it. For one, he gets more damage. He forces out way more elixir on me. He has pump and lightning in his hands. In a better cycle where, in general, he can pump first. So I think like the difference between us right now is because of the opening hand. Maybe lightning, maybe not lightning. Those defensive units. I mean, maybe lightning defensive units wasn't as bad as I thought, but we'll see. I'm down 2 elixir. I can kind of attribute that to the 2 elixir from that pump over there. So I pump right away to force him to either lightning me or pump himself. And now I try to play the deck the normal way. So I try to lightning him. So my goal right now is to defend, right? He makes an interesting choice, and this is where we kind of want to note. Our goal is to see like pump play. The whole point of Golem is to get up your pumps while denying his. He makes an interesting choice. He does not lightning my pump, but I lightning his. My tower is already pretty low. He holds on to his lightning. What that means is he has lightning on offense, and I don't have lightning, but I'm playing for the later game. So what could I have done here? I mean, we're just gonna take a look here. In general, you want to play the golem slower so that you can decide kill his units when they're on your side of the map. But taking into account the clock as well, I have 20 seconds to take off 900 HP off his tower. This golem that he gets extra is because he decides to not lightning me, actually. Just like that, he takes my tower because he goes first. And 8 seconds left on the clock, and I'm not able to take his tower. But I still have my pump up over here. So among the mistakes, outside of the opening hand, right? I think maybe lightning the Mega Minion and the Ewiz maybe was a mistake. I don't know. It felt good, well, in the moment because I was able to get back to my pump, get to some reasonable semblance of equality, except for the 2 elixir that he got from the middle pump. But if we go back in this replay, I think the turning point, because of all the decisions that kind of happened to us, this guy made a really smart decision here. And I think we can learn from this. I think it's good that we don't lightning. Smart. Our defense in general, I think, was pretty good. Maybe we could do that better. But remember, we're not really focusing on the defense, we're focusing on the pumps. That's our goal here, to learn. So I pump, right? He pumps as well. I lightning right away. He doesn't lightning. So that means his offensive will be way stronger. It's not like the game is at 1 minute 48. The game is at 48 seconds. I need to take his tower now, and I'm playing for the later game when there is no later game. He notices that, and he doesn't just like follow the script of the match. He just says, I'm gonna kill you right now. So if it was me to do this over again, and if I ever see the situation, I think that I would not lightning unless he lightning my pump. If he lightnings my pump, then I lightning his, or just do it the way he did it. He lightnings my pump, and I could just go kill him with my first golem. Although that might still kill me, because like let's say, I mean, I'm the one with the lower health tower, and with the -2 elixir advantage. So even if I went aggressive, I think he just has all the advantage. I think I had to play more defensively, being behind, and lightning only if he lightninged, pretty much. and then try and play for like a 2-2 game, a 2-1 crown game, where both we trade both of our towers, and then we go for these towers. So he was really smart about that. Yeah, but I don't think there's anything we could have done toward the end part, because he made that really smart decision. Okay, so I know this has been a while, but to reiterate, best way to analyze your replays: choose a goal, choose something to fixate on, something that is kind of messing you up in your play that you kind of see a lot, or something that you want to learn. Go over those replays, really stress it, and you'll become better. You will definitely become better. Okay. Yep, guys, thank you for watching. I know it's pretty long video, and this isn't as interesting as, just like me displaying to you guys a new deck or something. But I think this goes way beyond just like playing a deck. I think this being able to analyze your replays correctly helps you really learn any deck. Helps you just become a better player in general. So don't sleep on this. This exists for you to get better. Take advantage of it. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, and I will have sort of like a semi guide in the description in case you want to reread over, I think, the main points of this video. Yep. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.